Snakes alive! It's Topwater Tuesday! Hey everybody, I'm Den Haring and welcome back to my channel, Fish Den 365, and welcome back to Topwater Tuesday. Today we're on location fishing the Savage Gear 3D wake snake. Pretty cool looking bait, and it has a fantastic action in the water. It looks just like a snake. You know, when I was a younger man back in the 80s, I was fishing this same lake. This is a public water in Pike County, Pennsylvania, and I was out in a canoe and I was throwing topwater lures, and I was watching this snake coming along the surface. Somehow it got out in the middle of the lake, and it was a good sized snake, you know, 12, 13, 14 inch snake. And as it was swimming, I just saw it completely just disappear under a huge toilet flush. A giant largemouth just came up and just sucked it in, and it was gone. And of course I casted my lure over there a bunch of times, but I think he had a full belly from that snake. But that always stuck in my mind as something that, you know, could fool these fish. And then Savage Gear comes out with this 3D wake snake, and boy, it's so many segments. It swims just like a snake when you swim it, and when you stop it, it curves and curls, and it's a really enticing looking bait. It actually has two line ties on it too. One on the front of the nose, which if you reel it fast enough, it'll dive a little bit that way, and then run one right at the lip, which you cannot make it dive if you attach it there. It just stays on the surface as fast as you can reel it. So if you want a really fast retrieve on top, you would connect it to where the line tie is on the lip. If you want to throw it on a slower retrieve and maybe have it down under the water just slightly, a little bit more, then you put it on the front. Right now I'm nose hooking these guys on the nose and just fishing them slow and steadily, and we'll see how we do. I've got two different colors here, an all black one and one that my dad has a green back, and then he painted the belly orange. So we'll see how we do out here. Come along, let's see if we can catch some fish. It works. On the snake. It's a huge tangle. Not a bad one. He went for the snake. Let's see if we can get a bigger one. It looks like there's maybe some storms approaching, and that should turn him on, but then again, I can't stay out here and get struck by lightning either, so we'll see. So a little bit about what I've learned through fishing the Savage Gear 3D wake snake. I think this lure could be a very good bait for big bass, big largemouths, just because of the size of the lure and the realistic nature that it has when it's swimming in the water. Now there's two sizes that you can get. This is the 8-inch size. There's also a larger 12-inch size. You know, if you're looking for monster bass and trying to catch them, that larger size could be even better still. There are some things that you should be aware of on the bait, however, that I noticed while I was fishing. I had a number of hits on this bait by bass and pickerel, and the hookup percentage was not so good. Now these fish were small. I can tell they were small by just the type of bite that was taking place. So to be fair, I missed a number of hits, but I don't think those fish were much larger than a foot or 13 inches. So I just didn't have the kind of day where I was putting this thing in front of large fish, or if I was, they weren't interested. But I think on the right day, this thing can catch some giant largemouth. The other thing to be aware, and it's just based on where the hook placement is. Now I upgraded the hooks. They're about the same size as what came with the bait, which is a number 2 hook. And these are Gamakatsu EWG, so I have good hooks on here. But you can see that there's a pretty big section of tail before that hook comes into play. Now that tail swings, like you can see here, so I mean, it doesn't take much for a mouth to come onto this. The other thing that sometimes can happen when you're throwing the bait and you want to be aware of it is every now and then one of these hooks points could lodge into one of the segments of the bait and just kind of get stuck there. And so, if you shake your rod, they'll come back out. But every now and then I noticed that was happening, that one of the hook points would get stuck in one of the segments, and then the hook would be a little bit thrown off and throws the balance of the bait off. Didn't happen often, just once in a while, and it's just something that if you know it can happen and you're looking for it, then you could take a look at when you retrieve the bait, take a look at it, shake it a little bit, and then just go ahead and throw it out there again. A smooth cast seems to prevent it from happening, but there are times, obviously, when not all our casts are smooth, and that hook could hook up there. Just want you to be aware that can happen as well. But overall, I like the bait. I do think there's probably a time and a place that this thing can catch some big fish. And I had a lot of interest in the bait. A lot of fish were looking at it, following it, busting behind it. So you could use this as a locator too, like other wake baits. A lot of times when we throw these big wake baits, it's not just about catching fish on them. They catch giant fish, that's true. But oftentimes you'll get fish to follow it. And so you can find where some of the larger fish are, the bigger specimens that are following that bait. And so that's another purpose of using a wake bait. Then you can go back in there with something else and hopefully catch those fish. But you've found them by utilizing it. Another good reason to use the snake and other wake baits as well. Well, I hope you found this video interesting and useful. And if you liked it, please give me that, hit the like button. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed already. Let your friends know that I'm out there doing these Topwater Tuesdays as well as other bass related videos. We're all about the art and science of fishing, especially bass fishing. And I'm looking forward to getting back out on the water soon and getting you more content so that we can continue to have this great back and forth of that we have today with fishing and fishing related subjects. So please comment if you'd like. Let me know what you think, if you have experience with this snake or what you thought about this video and what you think about the wake snake. Hope to see you on the water, and as always, may God bless your fishing endeavors.